sis. Hold on, my mom's calling me. Hello, mama. Let's push the laptop back a little bit. Is the connection good now? Hey, sis. You know, honestly, I'm getting ready for work and about to leave out, but you know, I need to flat iron my hair, and I'm actually a few minutes late, but if I can leave out in the next 15 minutes, I'll be good. So I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, good morning. Hey, how are you? That's good, you know. So I know, like, last time, we were just talking about, growing up fast, you know what I'm saying? You know, so and it really just put me into deep thought about how growing up fast, like going through it sucks. It sucks, you know what I'm saying? Going through all the things that cause you to mature at such a fast rate. And you know, and I'm here to just let you know, as someone who has had their fair share of traumas, it's valid. It's valid for feeling how you feel. I feel you, girl, you know? However, I want you to know it's not a disability. It's not. And I say that because even though there were times, you know, where you bear the weight of the world on your shoulders, or you felt like you were held to an unrealistic standard compared to your siblings and peers, or the countless times, you know, you had to stand on character when your peers are just out here being carefree. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's been so many times where, you know, it's like, that's not even how you act. But that gives them way to treat me. This way or behave a certain way. And it just did not seem, you know, fair for the most part. And I respect that. I understand how frustrating that may be. You know, usually that happens when we mature at a fast rate, because a lot of times we have to take on a role that didn't belong to us, or the environment we had didn't, you know, nurture us in a way that we needed to be nurtured, or sometimes our parents, you know, best just wasn't enough for us. And yeah, I might get up every now and then to look at my hair because I'm sitting down in the mirror, you know. But as I got deeper and deeper into my thought about it, I was like, what are the benefits? You know, it's not a disability, even though I took on this role. So here's some things I think you need to hear. You're so much smarter and more blessed than you think you are. You know, suffering and all the suffering and everything that you went through changed your thought process in more ways than one. You know, and it also allowed you to, you know, fire new neurons and have better options when it comes to making your decision-making process. You think things through a little more thoroughly. Also, you know, it also allows you just to separate your feelings from logic. Like, when you grow up fast, you can't lie. It's been times where your peers be like, oh, you better than me, I would've. And they make irrational decisions, and you be like, what the, like, that don't even make sense to do. Like, even though I could act like this, I chose not to. That's because of the rate that you matured. You were able to separate your feelings from logic, you know? And you know something that I also noticed that we have in common, like when you mature at a faster rate, your friends are always so much more older than you, or a couple years older than you. Like, you tend to connect with an older crowd than you do your younger crowd. And I just want to let you know, that's not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with, you know, with that. It's actually pretty cool, to be honest. And you gain access, like, just because of, you know, who you're surrounded with, or by, whatever you want to call it. You gain access to so many places, information, but, you know, information and places that people your age typically will not have access to, or probably would never have access to, given the circumstance. So be grateful, you know. You're in a great position, should I say. And then also, I would say, you know, feeling a little disconnected from your peers, or your friends, or people your age, whatever word you may want to use. Girl, that's so normal. I cannot tell you how hard it was in college for me, you know, experiencing that feeling. But being ahead ain't that bad. You know, sometimes eventually they'll catch up. and they'll even tell you that you inspired them. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, let time do its thing. Don't think that you're weighed down the burden of maturing at such a quick rate. Don't look at it as a burden, because a lot of times, like I said, you know, being ahead isn't a bad thing. You know, sometimes you may need that extra boost to take advantage of whatever may be needed to take advantage of in that time frame. So, and a lot of times, like I said, some people end up having like their moment and they end up, you know, maturing, and other people are looking up to you. That don't mean bear the pressure of it. Just continue being you, okay? You know, and also, although you're stripped of a physical childhood, you've gained the opportunity to treat the child within you how they deserve to be treated. You know what I'm saying? You now have the emotional intelligence to identify, you know, why is it that I need this, or what did I lack growing up, or why did I mature at such a fast rate, you know? In which ways do I like to be loved and cared for? And I can give that now to myself, you know? So that's why, like, healing, you know, is such a beautiful thing. It hurts in the beginning phases, but it's very eye-opening towards the end. Well, you never get done healing, but you get what I'm saying. Girl, or my guy. But you have such a strong mind and sense of control at this age, and I just want you to let you know that your youth is defined by you. Like I said, although the physical, you know, childhood, or the number in which we called, you know, is gone, that phase of life has passed and is now the past, future, and present is happening all at the same time. Presence is happening all at the same time. So you have to really just, you know, realize that youth is within the mind. You're never old until you say you're old, you know? You know, 50 is still young. A lot of times I feel that this society rushes us and makes us feel that, you know, we are missing out on something, or we're aging. After 21, your life is over. After 25, once 30 hit, you have to have all your shit together. Like, no. Your age is within your mind. And, you know, crazy, because my mom had us at a young age, and I'm like watching her slowly gain her youth back. You know what I'm saying? Like, she matured at a rate that she shouldn't have had to, but, you know, circumstances in which she grew up and standards in which she was held into in her house allowed her to, you know, dibble and dabble in a few things she probably shouldn't have dibbled and dabbled in at that age. But now I see her gaining her youth back as she chases her dreams and ambitions, you know? Use your mind or the wisdom that you gain to create a life that you desire. Create something of value, you know what I'm saying? Like, who knows, like, you might end up as a coping mechanism. You might have, you know, started painting over the years, or you might have started creating this form of art, or you may have been the type of person to stay in your books all the time and went through college, or you may just be almost an expert at life. Even though no one is an expert at life, you get what I'm saying? Like, your life experiences are well beyond your years. Use that information and that wisdom that you gain over time to create a life that you want. You know, create something of value. You might write a book. You might start a YouTube channel. You might, you know, start a mentorship program. You may end up being someone, you know, someone's therapist, dang near. You know what I'm saying? You may end up wanting to be a doctor and have built the mental stamina to go through 12 years of school. You may have, but you never know until you try. And it's always about your perception. How do you perceive things? How are you looking at it? What are you looking at this gift that God has blessed you with? You know, in what ways? It's not a burden. I promise you, it's not a burden. You know, anything worth having is not good. It's not gonna come easy, and it doesn't feel good going through it. And I'm not saying you deserve to go through what you went through as a child. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you deserve the traumas, the mental abuse, the physical abuse, the sexual abuse. You did not deserve that. You did not. However, in that same sentence, just, you know, take it day by day. Find every good thing within every bad situation. Every good thing. And I'm speaking from experience, love. You know, working through that hurt or that, you know, spiritual awakening you had because of this experience, or just anything that you've been through, that is the key. Oops, that's the key to a winner. And that's working through all those problems and mishaps that you went through, and see what lesson could you have learned within it. What could you have learned about yourself? How could you do, what would you do moving forward? How could you make someone else's life better? I'm not gonna say I'm drowsy this morning, but you know, definitely a little bit more on the calmer side this morning. But I really just had to answer this FaceTime call. And, you know, and you may have inadvertently been blessed with the gift of long suffering, but you know, it creates character. It builds your patience in a way that only prepares you for things that you can't even imagine. While this world is, you know, give and take. Sorry, y'all, keep trying to look at my hair. But while this world is give and take, once overcoming the grievances of a lost childhood, smile. Be filled with joy. Because you're not filled with the wisdom that experience could have only taught. You know, that's what separates wisdom from knowledge. Wisdom is through experiences. Knowledge is just passed down. So when you've gone through something yourself, you've experienced the wisdom of it, you know? Utilize it. All right, sis, I gotta finish doing my hair and get ready for work, so I will talk to you later.